today we are going to discuss about the equation of the damped simple harmonic motion and its solution. So just like we have done in the case of simple harmonic motion, ideal simple harmonic motion, in which we haven't discussed any kind of damping. There only we have discussed a mechanical oscillator and the surface on which the mechanical oscillator oscillates was supposed to be a no frictionless surface. But now we are considering the friction of the surface, and so damping will come into play, and the damping force is given by Fd is equal to minus R dx by dt, that we have proved yesterday. So now for obtaining the equation of damped simple harmonic motion, we are going to have three terms. Earlier there was only this force minus Sx, but now another force has come into play. So this is minus R dx by dt. So when you are going to derive the equation, we are just dividing the whole equation by m. So we will get this equation d2x by dt square r by m and s by m. So this is what we have here. So the term which is the coefficient of first order, this is dx by dt, that is r by m. This factor is known as the damping term, and s by m is called the stiffness term, because it depends upon the stiffness of the spring that you have used. So we are now just filling out the values. R by m, we have just transformed r by m to a different variable. So r by m is equal to 2b we have taken, and s by m to be omega naught square, just to simplify our calculations. So overall we have this d2x by dt square plus 2b dx by dt plus omega naught square x is equal to 0. So this is your equation of damped simple harmonic motion. So what could be the solution? Because the simple harmonic motion is kind of changing periodically with time, so its solution could be of the form a e raised to power alpha t. We have taken this, and then after we will calculate the values of alpha for every for different cases we will discuss. So if x is equal to a e raised to power alpha t, then dx by dt would be a alpha e raised to power alpha t, and the double differentiation would give you a alpha square e raised to power alpha t. So when we are substituting these three values in this equation, so we will get this, and then after from this we can easily see that because the product of three terms is given to be 0. If the product of three terms is 0 or any terms is 0, either the terms are 0 or either the single term is 0 or all the terms are 0. As you know that a cannot be 0, e raised to power alpha t also, this factor cannot be 0. So it means this factor only should be equal to 0, because these both cannot be equal to 0. So this equation is further, it is quadratic in alpha. So from this we can use the formula just like you have equation ax square plus 2bx plus c is equal to 0. Then you have the solution as x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So this is the thing that you have got here. Sorry, this is here it is not taken to be 2, this is bx only. So this is the solution of a simple quadratic equation. So this we have applied here, and we have got from the two values of alpha. One is minus b plus root b square minus omega naught square, and the other is having this here negative value. So minus b minus root b square minus omega naught square, these are the two roots of this equation. So the complete solution could be given as x is equal to some constant e raised to power alpha 1 plus a2 some this is another constant e raised to power alpha 2t. This solution we have supposed, and now we have got two values of alpha. So the complete solution could be written like this. So when we are substituting the values of alpha 1 and alpha 2, we are getting this equation. So we will afterwards we will find the values of a1, a2, alpha 1. So all these values we would find inner further depending upon the further situations or different